On this episode of the Whiskey Tornado, we review Calumet 16-year-old bourbon. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey Tornado. I'm your host, Lance. Today, we're reviewing a very special bottle. It is Calumet 16. Man, oh man, if you guys have not found this bourbon, it needs to be on your wish list. All right, guys, so I'm going to get a pour of this. Here is the bottle. It is super fancy. Absolutely love it. It looks like it's in the exact same bottle as Lot B, Pappy Lot B. So we're going to get a pour of it, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It is 106 proof. This is the batch size is 19 barrels. This is sourced from Kentucky, although it doesn't say that anywhere on the bottle. It just says where it was bottled. While that opens up, I will quickly tell you guys about our scoring system. If you've heard this 100 times, you can use the timestamps below. Skip to the section you want to hear. Also, if you're new to the channel, you can go to whiskeytornado.com and you can click on 2022 whiskey scores. You will see every whiskey I've reviewed so far this year. Here on the Whiskey Tornado, we have 7 categories. We rank 0 to 1. A score of 0.5 is an average score. Our first 2 categories are handicapped. Those are appearance and availability. Then we move on to the important stuff when we talk about the nose, the palate, the finish, the body, and value. At the end, we add all those scores up. Any score of 3 or better means it is bar worthy. Feel safe buying that and putting it on your bar. Any score of 4 or better is bunker worthy. Grab some extras just in case the bourbon you love is no longer made. All right, with all that being said, let's get into the appearance of Calumet 16. All right, guys, the appearance on Calumet 16 is an absolute winner for me. I've said this so many times, but a gold and black label looks so good. This bottle is paying respect to Citation, who was one of, I guess, the first horse to win $1 million. Trainer, it says on there, is Ben A. Jones. Jockey, Eddie Arcaro. Says 16 years. This is if you put this bottle next to a Pappy Lot B, it's the same bottle. But the label is actually quite a bit better, and the bottle is a lot better looking than a Lot B. But just a beautiful bottle. I love the presentation on this. We are going to give it a 0.7. As far as availability goes, I can actually find Calumet and Sam Houston 16 here in Illinois in my stores. Is it easy? No. But if I know when it's being released and I hit a few stores in my area, it is definitely obtainable. So while it's hard to find, you can still get your hands on it, which is exciting. It's not like you're hunting for a Weller or a Pappy, or any Buffalo Trace product for that matter. So we're going to give it a 0.3. All right, now that this has had some time to open up, let's get into the nose, guys. It is beautiful. If you can see the color on it, the color is just gorgeous, really beautiful. It's got legs for days, really oily. I am so excited to review this for you guys today. Oh man, oh, so good. Golly, it's there's definitely like some vanilla, some cherry, some sweet oak, even some like cinnamon on the nose, touch of dustiness. Man, it smells aged and it smells delicious. This is, you smell this and you know you're getting ready to have a great bourbon, which is what I love. We're going to give the nose a 0.8. It's exceptional. All right, moving on to the palate. First sip. Cheers, everybody. Oh, yeah. Man, I've been saying this a lot. The first part of this year, I thought really was not great for bourbon releases. The last month and a half has just been banger after banger. This is no exception. That first sip was fantastic. Lots of oak, lots of cherry, but the oak wasn't like a drying oak. It was like a sweet brown sugary oak on the first sip. We're gonna go to the second sip. I always gotta go through 3 sips on these guys. Oh yeah. Cherry's really popping through. Got some clove on there. Now, when I say cherry, the past offerings of Calumet, like the Calumet 14, Calumet 15, some of the Sam Houstons I had, the cherry was too dominant, too medicinal, too much like cherry cough drops almost. This is getting away from that. The extra age is toning that medicinal cherry down. I think it's really, really nice. I'm so glad it's not medicinal cherry. I almost didn't buy this bottle for that very reason. Now the cherry's there. I wouldn't say it's not there. It just toned down a lot, which I need. I appreciate that. Oh yeah. Third sip. Now the cherry is even more subdued. Caramel. It becomes like a buttery texture. This is evolving. Different on every sip as far as mouthfeel and texture goes. The flavors are the same. You kind of get those dominant oak, sweet oak, cherry, clove notes. But the thing that I noticed on the texture was that first sip was a little drying. Second sip, I had more barrel spice. And the third sip, this became very creamy. And then the spice built on the back end, which was gorgeous. I like a whiskey that changes and evolves, and this is kind of evolving for me. It's really, really nice. All right, I'm gonna take a fourth sip because it's so good. Oh man, that's just beautiful. This is what I hoped a lot of those Sam Houstons and Calumet 14 and 15 years would be. Just a better balance of cherry and oak. Not so predominantly medicinal cherry, which is what I got on a lot of the other expressions. This is hitting my palate just right. It's showing its age. You know you're drinking an aged bourbon, which is becoming even more beautiful in my eyes as the years go on, as aged bourbon becomes harder and harder to find. You know, there's just no one else putting out a 16-year-old bourbon. But this is really, really nice. I absolutely love it. I'm going to give the palate a 0.8. All right, moving on to the finish. Again, nice balance of that cherry and caramel and buttery texture. And then you just get a nice, that 106 proof is perfect because you just get a nice tingling on the back of the tongue as this thing fades away. And I wouldn't say the finish is crazy long, but it's definitely medium to long. I don't think I'm going to put it in the exceptional category, but I love what's there. Absolutely love it. It's not fighting you. It goes down nice and easy. Nice little tingling on the back end. I'm going to give the finish a 0.7. All right, moving on to the body. This thing, guys, is oily. I don't think there's any way you're going to be able to see this in the camera, but legs, great texture. This is non-chill filtered. Coats the entire mouth. Everything you'd want. Really nice body. Even for 106 proof, I would put this in exceptional range because of that buttery texture feel that I crave in a bourbon. So we're going to give this a 0.8. All right, moving on to value. If this is going to be hurt by any category, value is it, because we're talking about $130 bourbon. That being said, this is 16-year-old bourbon, which is just almost impossible to come by these days. So if you can get an extra bottle, I would. Regardless of what my score says, this is bunker worthy because it is an exceptional 16-year-old bourbon. At $130, I say this all the time, I don't feel ripped off. I don't feel like I stole it. So it's right in the middle for me as far as value goes. We're going to give value a 0.5. All right, guys, that brings the overall score for Calumet 16 to a 4.1, making it a bunker-worthy bourbon. This stuff is fantastic. It's definitely in my top 5 list, and maybe even bourbon of the year running. It is fantastic bourbon. If you guys were put off in earlier years by the Sam Houston or Calumet 14 and 15 year because the cherry note was too medicinal, never fear. I think you should buy this. I think you'll be really happy you did. And I would even bunker some because, I mean, when else are we going to get 16-year-old bourbon that tastes this phenomenal going forward? All right, guys, Calumet 16, a bunker-worthy bottle. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this bottle, especially if you've had it. If you want to support the channel a little bit more, please consider joining our Patreon community. You can join for as little as $2 a month. It really helps the channel. And you find out if bottles like this are bunker worthy before the masses of people find it and are searching for it. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Hope it helps you decide what to buy and what to leave on the shelves. Until next time, I'm going to toast you guys out with this Calumet 16. Cheers, everybody. Oh, God, it's beautiful. That is so freaking good. Bourbon of the Year stuff right there.